Nation matchmaker and soulmate expert. Welcome to tonight's episode of Matchmaker Secrets, where we talk about uh, love, dating, and relationships, and of course, matchmaking. So, last couple of weeks ago, I have had the chance to speak to a bunch of people who were listening to me talk, and I would like to share some inputs that I've gathered from them as far as the seminar is concerned. So I talk about um, how to design your soulmate. So it's interesting because I'm not sure how many of you creates lists as far as what do you want to attract in a person, but I I realized that most of the time people don't even know what they're looking for. So maybe you ask them what do you want, and they will say like three things. And so it's interesting. One guy said to me something like 15 items. I'm trying to count while he was telling it to me. So it means he has more clarity. So yeah. I always emphasize be much more elaborate as far as what you're looking for, because sometimes it dawns on you that what shows up for you, who is available, is not exactly the person that you're looking for, because you have not identified specifically what are the different characteristics of this person that you're looking for. So I would suggest that you actually put the physical characteristics, the inner characteristics of this person, and look also the different relationship characteristics that you're looking for. So when I say relationship characteristics, are you the type of person who would like to be really very, very attached to each other, or you want to be something like having some space, or are you, talking about sex characteristics? Are you the type of person who wants that person to be actually kissing you all over while you're in public? So different people have different parameters as far as that is concerned. And so, yeah, going back to inner characteristics. So let's talk about their mental aspect, their emotional aspect. And of course, that's also important, their spiritual aspect, because some people have strong affinity as far as religion is concerned. So just include that as well. And find out as well how will you look like as a couple, because you'll never know unless you actually have an idea. Tell us what you hear, what you feel, and what you see in this particular relationship. And so I also asked them to find out what are the reasons why they have been single for a while. So from what I've gathered is a lot of them have various limiting beliefs. So there was one woman who was saying that she has had low self-esteem, and so when I think about it, a lot of these limiting beliefs actually came from when you were young, from 0 to 7 years old. And so there's another person, he's a guy, he said he thinks that he's not as deserving. So when you think about that, you're already sabotaging yourself right away, because he's thinking okay, I'm not that rich enough, and so maybe I'm not worthy for this person, and maybe she deserves somebody better. And so let me identify to you some of the common limiting beliefs that people have as far as relationship is going on. And so it's either they're not good enough, maybe they'll say I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not handsome enough as compared to such and such. But the funny thing is that not everybody's gonna be like Angelina Jolie look-alike or Brad Pitt look-alike. So yeah, just try to figure out just let go of that. So there's some people who say I'm not smart enough, or I don't deserve, I am too young, or I'm too old, or I am uneducated. They're also counting their educational background, up to what level have they reached. And so, like, some people will even say, like, I have bad luck, in finding out, these people who are going to be interesting for me, or like who's going to be interested with me. And so, like, you know, uh, there's also the concept, like, I am unworthy. So, like, once we are feeling like unworthy, that's going to be, forever stuck with you. So, the other thing that, we have to think about is what is the impact of this negative beliefs or limiting beliefs that we have, because, like, apparently it will be instilled with us for a while. So, like, among them, like, it can influence your perceptions as far as your own individual being is concerned. And so, like, you can also shape your character with all these limiting beliefs, and then it can affect your relationships. So that's what I was telling them, like, if you are actually you know uh, showing negative energy, like, the person will not automatically be attracted to you, because, like, they can feel it, anybody can feel it. And so the second portion that I have asked them is, like, after they have identified what they wanted, um, I also told them, like, give uh, a list of those things that they don't really want. Because, like, apparently when we have had some relationships already, we were able to determine exactly what is it that we don't want. So, like, those things can be something like, oh, I don't want to be anymore with somebody who's a cheater, or somebody who's alcoholic, or somebody who's a gambler. So, like, no, those are actually biggies. Automatically, I would rather suggest that you put them right away over there, because, like, if you don't have it there, then, like, chances are you'll never know. Just be cautious about it. And so I also told them, like, if they can create their own romantic resume. So they're wondering, what is this romantic resume that you're talking about, Lorii? So usually we use a resume for looking for work, but, why not using it for looking for love? And so, like, over there, identify, you know um, your personal profile, just like when you're creating your online dating profile, and then put your relationship experience. Like, relationship can be anybody from your parents, your siblings, your friends. Like, just tell us, like, what are the different relationships that you've had, or even, like, your peers or colleagues from work. And then identify also, like, your romantic relationship experience. Like, oh, okay, I have dated such and such number of people. I have actually had such and such number of I have had a romantic relationship with, or, like, I have been divorced. Anything like that will be included over there. And so next thing is that we'll talk about the relationship education and training that you've had. I have no idea, like, have you read books, or, like, follow different gurus as far as, like, relationships are concerned? Like, you can put over there, oh, I have read Mars and Venus, or, I have actually listened to uh, I don't know, maybe Dr. Phil, or whoever is the person that you are listening to as far as relationship is concerned. And so put over there also your personal skills. Like, I usually encourage to put, additional information as what is something that is very unique for them. So, like, as far as men, not everybody is a handyman, or not everybody is a good cook. So, like, you can add that if you are such a person. Or, like, maybe if you're a woman, you can actually, sew some clothing. I know somebody back there, does some sewing. And then there are some people also, or women, who are actually good cooks. So, yeah, there are a lot of, probably bonuses that you have never actually thought that, oh, okay, it will be a good incentive, for others to know that I am also such a person, I have these capabilities. one thing that showed up during the conversation is somebody for a guy who is a handyman. Not a lot of men are handy nowadays. So those are good qualities that you really you don't really find normally. And so also put your hobbies, because like obviously like you want to find out like what are different things that you want to share together with your partner. And also put what you want others to know more about you, like that people doesn't know. Maybe you are into philanthropy. Why not, like put it over there. And so also I would suggest put what you really like about yourself, because like this is your ego booster. So actually after we have done that, like I asked them to compare what are the characteristics of the ladies that they have written up, and so as compared also to the personal profile that they have. So obviously, like all the things that they have written about themselves were all positive. And so like we have to turn around the wheel. And so like I asked them now, like this is how you really look good on paper, and then how you look good as if like you're wearing your suit and tie, or like the women in their evening dress. But take a look at it personally, like how is it as far as like putting all the different negative stuff that you know about yourself, because like come to think about it, it's also part of ourselves. And so like maybe we need some improvement in those different aspects, but we have to also add them. And so it's accepting who you are. And so like they started to put their different limiting beliefs and everything. And so now I asked them, like take a look, as compare, like will the lady that you have created, as far as your list is concerned, be actually interested with who you are. And so like it's a work in progress. So like we have had different challenges as far as like growing up, and some of these things that we have had has developed. And so obviously like we can work on ourselves. If you want somebody who's caring, or who's somebody who's generous, and you don't have that characteristics, I suggest that you actually work on those. Like you don't have to be like totally like total 360 degrees shift, but you can work on it every day, like in increments, so at least you can be a match to the person that you're looking for. Because like in order to be a person who is admired by somebody who has that particular characteristics, you have to mimic them. And so like you have heard that saying, like birds of the same feathers flock together. So like that's the reason why like you have to adjust. So I remember one time I was talking to one lady, and she actually manifested somebody who is exactly what she was looking for. So like the guy is tall, handsome, rich, and also very educated. But this lady that I was talking about, she's a little heavy. She's working as a clerk. Her educational level is not as high as the guy, and she's not earning much as well. And so they became attracted to each other, but obviously like in a matter of months she was losing confidence, because like she was overwhelmed that this guy is like the perfect guy. And so like she felt so insecure. So the women will be looking at this guy, and then like she'll be left behind, because like she doesn't get any attention. So yeah, those kind of relationships doesn't last long. So just make sure that you are also careful, and figure out which one will actually be a match to you. Not all the time there's going to be a Cinderella story. So sometimes you have to be somehow realistic. Like, those things happen in the movies, but, I am not, saying that it's not going to be happening to you, but just, somehow add some realism in that particular list that you have created. And so, yeah, it's interesting, like, how a lot of people have to think about, like, okay, this is the, the prima donna that I'm looking for, but, I am not, like, catching up with that. So, like, try to, figure out the best way in order to actually, like, tweak here and there, like whatever you have created in the list that you have had. And I think, there's always somebody for you. So, like, they don't have to be looking at your, how you actually are presenting yourself necessarily. The person for you is just for you. So no matter what, they will ignore all the other things that you have. But, just believe that there's always somebody for you, because, like, yeah, such is life. There's there's no way in order to stop that from happening. So going back to that limiting belief, like, I was telling these people that a lot of these things doesn't happen immediately, so they become single for a while, is because, like, they're always obsessed with their list that they have created. So if you're always looking at your list and you're saying, like, this is not happening, this is not happening, so the chances are it's not going to happen, because, like, you've always been thinking, like, okay, like, the negative area, like, it's not happening, so it's not really going to happen. Like, I even bet one guy, like, I said to him, like, it's not going to happen for you, because, like, he was so worried that he's not going to be able to find anybody for New Year's. So he's not going to be able to kiss somebody for New Year's. I was thinking, like, okay, I am going to bet you're not going to be finding anybody, because, like, he has been charged with this emotion that he's not going to be happy, or, like, he's not going to have somebody together with him for New Year's. So yeah, it's a work in progress that you have to realize. Like, when you are cooking, let's say you're using a rice cooker, so you don't open the lid all the time. Is it cooked? Is it cooked? It's not like that, because, like, otherwise it's not gonna be really cooked, because you keep on opening the lid. So just watch out for those kind of things. Like, the universe is gonna provide for you, whoever this person is, just, in time, and just be prepared, because, like, you'll never know, as I was saying, when it's gonna happen. Like, I remember there was one lady that I was talking to before, and then, like, I was talking to her on a luncheon networking. And so what happened is that I told her, like, the different things she's supposed to do. And so, like, come in the evening, she actually mentioned during lunch that I'm gonna be going to fundraising, actually, for dinner. And the next thing you know, like, she called me the next day and she said to me, like, Lorii, I got an offer to go for a Valentine's date with somebody that I met in the fundraising. I was thinking, like, oh my God, I didn't even charge her. I was just talking to her in lunch, and then, like, things happened for her miraculously, and I'm just so happy for her, because, like, they ended up getting married, and actually they have a child. So I think they have two now. So there you have it, folks. I really appreciate your being over here. And so if you are one of the experts on love, dating, and relationships, just give me a holler. I'd be happy to have you over here. And if you're also single and would like to be on the show, because, like, you have probably been wondering how can you find love, and then you need some, advice here and there, just message me. And I'll see you soon. You take care. Bye-bye. See ya.